Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios, it's time for Women in Motion. Brought to you by WBEC West. Join forces, succeed together. Now, here's your host.
Lee Kantor here, another episode of Women in Motion, and this is going to be a good one. But before we get started, it's important to recognize our sponsor, West. Without them, we couldn't be sharing these important stories. Today on Women in Motion, we have Kim Wilson, owner of 40 West Xpress. Welcome.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I am so excited to learn what you're up to. Tell us about 40 West Xpress. How are you serving folks?
Thank you. So, 40 West Xpress started initially as a logistics company. And so started out in December of 2019, wanting to create a logistics business and do hotshot trucking, transporting freight. Bought a dually, a flatbed, figured out how to self-certify my business as woman-owned. This thing called COVID came up, and then I got nervous. And so we pivoted to waste management. And so that was when I started working as a DBA, doing top dog hauling. And that's what we do. We do waste management and trash removal, evictions, and commercial cleanouts.
So is it primarily kind of business to business, or do you have kind of residential consumers as clients as well?
Yeah, so the bulk of it is residentials, but we do have some commercial customers. And so we have a concrete contractor that he'll go on a job and then he'll need us to come and haul away the concrete. We have a couple of commercial buildings. If they're doing renovations or light demo work, then we'll go and pick up the construction debris. And then I also work with another general contractor on some of the sites that he's at.
But primarily you're going into like neighborhood and being their person who takes their trash away?
That is correct. So the bulk of our business, I would say right now, would be evictions. So if a tenant is getting evicted, we'll go in after they've gotten out and the period has terminated for them to take their remainings out of the property. We'll go and then trash out whatever is left behind.
So you work like with multifamily units, things like that?
Some of them are apartments. Some of them are homes, so single family homes. So we have property managers that'll give us a call and say, hey, we need a property clean out. It could be 4-bedroom home that a family was renting. And once they've moved out, oftentimes there's always furniture left behind. And we've had a lot of furniture that we've been able to donate to other family members. We've donated to some nursing homes. And then if it's in decent condition, then we'll go to Salvation Army and drop off some of the items as well.
So now when you made the pivot, how'd you choose this direction?
Yeah. So, okay, COVID showed up and I'm like, okay, we need to put a pause on doing the out of state transportation. I was just really nervous about it because we didn't know what COVID was and how long it was going to be around. And then I sell real estate part-time. And so I was talking to a couple of friends and they were like, man, evictions are going to be crazy. People aren't going to be able to pay their rent. So this is what they were predicting. And then I started scratching my head and I'm like, maybe I can put this truck to work. So I had the truck and then I thought, okay, if I buy a trailer, I can get in business with servicing those needs. And so that's how I pivoted to what I cloned the DBA as top dog hauling.
And then what was it like when was this like a build it and they will come kind of situation? Or did you really have to lean on some of those relationships you had in the real estate business to even let them know that, hey, this is what we're doing now?
We were so busy during COVID. It was a good problem to have. So I mentioned that I sell real estate part-time. So I literally just started posting social media, top dog hauling, let us know how we can help you. And because I do have a big network of realtor friends and property managers, it just took off like wildfire. Like the phone just did not stop ringing.
So now what was it like, or what is it like being a woman in this kind of a male dominated industry?
It's been a challenge. And so I think it's a good and a bad thing. So I've had customers call and they're like, we saw your ad and we wanted to support a woman-owned business. So, I've got many of those phone calls where they're like, yay, woman in this industry. But some of the challenges is, to be honest, I think my journey has been maybe a little slower than a male because I'm a woman. And I had a guy make a note on one of my Facebook pages and he was like, may I speak to the man in charge? Now, I think he was joking, but he wasn't the only one. Like, I've had a couple of people say, I answer the phone? They're like, can I speak to the owner? You're talking to the owner. So it's just been because it's not very many of us women in the junk removal waste management industry. I feel like I've been having to try to figure things out because I just don't really have that many, maybe even mentors or women that I can bounce things off.
Now, so the pandemic's over? Is it still like, are you going to get back into logistics, or is this now you're kind of putting all your chips on the table in this direction?
Yeah, this business has been flourishing. So I started with one truck. I now have 2 trucks, 2 trailers, and I'm in the process of trying to seek financing to get some roll-off containers. So I think we're going to stay in this lane. It's actually been doing really well.
Now, is there, when it comes to scaling something like this, is there any advice you can give other people that are in a kind of fast-growing marketplace? How did you go about, doubling your capacity at least and more?
Yeah, so I started out, when I bought the dually and I bought the flatbed, I used my personal funds from my savings. And then as the business needs, I was like, okay, I need to get another truck because I've only got the one truck, one trailer. And when that one's out busy, then, I have to turn jobs down. So I was able to then start talking to people about business credit. And I learned everything that I could about getting business credit. And I'm like, okay, well, now I got the business credit. Let me see if I can get some financing. Applied for American Express card. And I have to tell you, I did a happy dance when I got approved for the business credit card. And so from there, I'm like utilizing the business credit. So it was at least year 2 before I was able to really start thinking about business credit. But just kind of, again, a combination of my personal funds. And then now I'm to the point where I've got the business credit and able to now purchase stuff with that.
Can you explain to our listeners why it's important and the advantageous to get business credit?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not against your own personal credit. And so when I purchased the dually, that was on my credit. It was against my credit ratings. When you have the business credit, some companies will do a soft pull just to check your personal credit, but it doesn't affect your personal credit. And so it's always a good idea just to try to see, take that route and get to where you're utilizing the business credit. I've been able to, I think, get loans under the business credit that I may not have been able to get under the personal credit. So it was a really good decision for me to start really researching the business credit and start utilizing it.
Yeah, and sometimes you get better rates, and sometimes it's helping kind of the valuation of your company because now it has more credit. So it could be worth more. It has more value.
Correct.
Now, is the waste management industry, is that something you think that more women should take a look at? Maybe they're not, maybe they're self-selecting out before they even begin because they don't even consider it. There's not, like you said, you didn't have any role models or mentors to help you. Is this something that you'd like to see more women get involved in waste management?
I think, I didn't grow up saying I wanted to be a waste management business. But it's just been such a good lane for me to be in. And I love when I run into other women that are in the industry. We absolutely need them. And there's other things. It doesn't have to necessarily be junk removal. It could be porta potties. It could be like the roll-off containers. It could be environmental, just maybe being a consultant for environmental, doing safety. There's so many different avenues. And I just think it's, typical that women just don't look at blue collar jobs. But I get super excited when I see other women in the industry.
Are you still doing real estate stuff, or are you kind of all in now on this adventure?
Yeah, real estate, I do it here and there, but I've really been focusing on trying to scale the business. And so this is my baby, and I'm super excited about what the future holds. I think I mentioned I'm in the process of getting financing for the roll-off containers. My end goal, since I have the certification, is to do disaster management services, maybe get with FEMA. And so I know that's where that certification will be useful to me. So that's kind of the end goal.
Now, you talked a little bit about why getting certified, but regarding WeBec West and the WeBec West community, how have you seen kind of value from being part of that community?
Yeah, it was such a wonderful experience. And so I was following someone on Facebook, and then I saw the representative from WeBec West. I reached out to her. I'm kind of like Dora the Explorer. So when I see something, like, I just kind of like, well, what is this about? And I kind of follow all the leads. And so she told me about the certification, what the process entailed. And then I just got really intrigued. And they were so helpful, answering every question. When I went through the application, if I didn't know an answer, I just shot them an email and boom, they were there to help me. So to me, it was I hate to say simple, but it wasn't a complicated process, and they were there every step of the way.
So who is your ideal client right now?
So I have a big, Century 21, out here. It's a big real estate broker, and I get the majority of my business, again, doing the eviction cleanouts, the apartment turnovers. They have a bunch of property managers. And so that right now is my biggest customer.
And is that kind of the avatar for future customers? Is that who you're looking to do business with?
Honestly, I want to get more into the commercial side. So that's the reason for me purchasing these roll-off containers, so that I can get more in construction side, maybe get with some general contractors. And again, the end goal would be the disaster management services, so that we could, respond to, if there's a hurricane in Louisiana or wherever, that we could go and be a part of that mission.
So is your work primarily are you in Nevada? Is that where you are?
Yeah, we're in Nevada, and I just had a conversation with another lady. She does roll-off containers in Texas, and we're looking to do a partnership in the San Antonio area. So super excited about that.
So primarily you're in Nevada, but you can, once you get involved in this other aspect of the business, you could go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, all I have to do is get a trailer, a dump trailer, and a truck, and then we're in business. So we're looking at a couple of other states. I have family that's in the Washington, D.C. area, and so looking at possibly adding to that location as well.
Well, congratulations on all the success. If somebody wants to have a more substantive conversation with you and learn more, is there a website? What's the best way to learn more or connect with you?
Yeah, so the website is 40 West Xpress, and it's 40 West Xpress.com. Or they can shoot me an email at info40, and that's a F40, the number 40, westxpress.com.
Right. It's 40 West, the letter X, PRESS.com.
Correct.
Well, Kim, thank you so much for sharing your story. You're doing such important work and we appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity to get on here and I appreciate your time.
All right, this is Lee Kantor. We'll see y'all next time on Women in Motion.